Okay, so today's video is going to go into authentication. So 3 A's, the tools we use to achieve CIA. Authentication, that's how you prove who you are, usually with a password, right? And then we have access control. So once you type in your password, you're allowed to do certain things and you're not allowed to do other things, right? So like when you log in here at school, you log into the computers, you're able to use the computers, but you're not able to install programs, you're not able to do certain things. So your access level is set and you can do a number of things and you're denied a number of other things, right? And the last A is accounting or auditing, right? So a log or a track of what has been done on the computers, right? So authentication, you prove who you are so that you've given access to something, right? And I love some of these little comics here. Okay, and it all comes down to trust, right? If we can't trust each other, then, well, we're not going to play together. So here's a couple ways that we authenticate. Something we know, a password, something we have, like a smart card or a code, and something that you are, like a fingerprint. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways to authenticate, and a lot of times we're using more than one, right? That's going to come up in a little bit. So password is just something that you know, usually a combination of numbers and letters. But if you've seen this movie, Spaceballs, it's amazing. And you just know that the password 1234 is not a good password, right? And you know that because you're good digital citizens. So we're going to dive into this some more, but here's some different attacks for password. Well, number one, just steal it. Just I can glance over at you typing your 4-digit code into your phone, and I've got your password to open your phone, right? Another method is to just guess it, right? So I could pick up your phone and today I'm going to try 1111 and tomorrow I'll try 1112, et cetera, et cetera. I can just brute force, just try different combinations to see if I can get into your phone, right? And of course, there are the stupid user passwords too, right? So I pick up your phone, the first password I'm going to try is maybe your address. The next password I'm going to try is maybe your phone number, right? Because, hey, you might use those things as your passwords, okay? Here's a chart that we don't super like, but how long does it take a good hacker to brute force your password? If you're just using numbers, even if it's 10 numbers, that's instant, right? If you also add like if you just lowercase letters, again, it doesn't take long for a hacker to brute force. That means try every single combination of letters and numbers until they get your password. Okay. The more things that you add, the more complex that gets, and you get to be, some pretty strong passwords. Okay. But hackers are smart. So they don't just try every combination, right? But 50% chance there's a vowel. So that eliminates a whole bunch of passwords that they're not going to try. Capital letters are usually at the beginning and are followed by a vowel. Okay. Numbers are usually 1 or 2 and are usually at the start of the password or the end of the password. Men usually use their hobbies. I'm going to change my password now. Just kidding. So passwords are all stored in databases, right? And so we can use different attacks on passwords. So we tried brute force is one attack. A dictionary attack is another form of attack. So let me just generate a whole bunch of words in the dictionary that I think might be your password. Names of movies, names of sports teams, just have all these common words and use those for guessing your password, right? And then a hybrid attack would be taking dictionary words and then just trying to brute force our way through that. Okay. Password spray is pretty cool. So most of us know that, if you try to log into a website, you type in your email and then you type in password 1, doesn't work. You type in your email, you try password 2, doesn't work, right? After a few times, you're going to get locked out, right? What a password spray does is it keeps the same password, but it uses different usernames. Okay, so like I'm going to try, Mr. David at hanalani.org, and the password is Go Royals. Okay, that didn't work. Mr. Dahlhausen, the password is Go Royals. That didn't work. Mr. Vinzons, the password is Go Royals. Oh, we're in. It's called the password spray attack. Okay, password spray attacks usually don't get blocked. So it's a kind of interesting way to try and brute force a password. Okay, we could try credential stuffing, and that just means we look at a database of passwords that have been, found in a data breach, and let's try those passwords. Okay. So we're going to dive deep into this later on in the course, but where are your password stores? Well, the SAM registry Hive holds all of that on Windows. And in Linux, you've got 2 different files called the etc password and the etc shadow file, which has all of the information we might need. Okay, so when we talk about passwords, computers generally don't store the password. What they do is they hash the password. So they use a mathematical formula to produce a hash, and they'll store that hash. Now that sounds like the same thing, and it could be, but it's a little bit better than just storing the plain text passwords. Okay, so some common hashing algorithms are MD5, SHA-256, and SHA-512. So we'll dive into that in our course a little bit more. But so if our passwords are just stored as hashes, what we can do is we can produce a rainbow table. And that's just a file of hashes, password hashes, and just go through that. And if the password hash matches, well, we get access to your account. Okay. And so a method to stop that is salting. Salting is just adding a random string to the beginning of the password before it's hashed. So that way, the password hash and the password would be different. Okay, so other different types of password attacks are, well, one of these is called the birthday attack. So if you have a class or group of 22 people the chances that two people in that group share the same birthday is greater than 50%. So if we shared all of our birthdays, there's a 50% chance two of us have the same birthday. Okay. And so we can, hackers use statistics like this to narrow down their brute force attacks. Okay. Now here's a couple more. I think I've got. Okay. So that wraps it up for today. Passwords and the nitty-gritties of that. We're going to dive into how to attack passwords and how to get not get, but how to defend against those different methods of getting our passwords.